And I believe we are live yet again due to technical difficulties. Um, well, forget all that. I'm here. Very tired, but here. So we're going to try this again because everything breaks. And I know what some of you are saying. Why don't you switch over to Macs? Because Macs never break. To which case I say, you're wrong and you're lying because I have to work on them all the time. Good evening, everybody. This is the Not Dave Grohl Show, where I realize that I'm pausing too much, even though I really want to take a drink of my liquid death, which I am going to do presently because I have been losing my voice for some odd reason all day today. I'm hoping it is not a symptom of a bigger problem. Hopefully not. But we shall see. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it this evening because I have a lot to go over this evening because first and foremost, I did go to a really awesome show at the Conduit over in Winter Park last night, and I got to see 3 really incredible bands. I got to see Traverser for the second time, who is a Florida local band, and I don't really know how to classify them. They got some prog, they got some other stuff, and there's some experimental stuff going in there. I'd ask them, but I didn't think to. But I guess you could loosely call them a prog metal band, and that would safely classify them, followed by Aviators, and then Finland's very own Wheel on the first night of their first headlining American tour. And I got to meet all 3 bands last night, which was a lot of fun. Actually, I've gotten to meet Traverser once before earlier in the summer when I saw them out at Winfields, which is over in, if I remember correctly, Satellite Beach, somewhere on the East Coast, just north of Melbourne, by not very much. And they were really cool guys then, and they played a really good show that night, and they played an even better show last night, which is saying a lot because they did a really great set the first time, and they were just as cool this time. And this time, let's play a little show and tell. I gotta turn off my blur. Damn blur. Every time I do a show and tell, I've got to turn this off. Otherwise, nobody can see what I'm doing. Let's see here. Oh. I should probably turn my fan on because my laptop is dropping stuff. However, I did buy this from their merch stand last night, which looks like a DVD, but it's actually an audio CD. But there's some really cool stuff inside here. First off, they gave me this, which I did not pay for. They just gave it to me because they're really cool guys. And secondly, I got this really cool double-sided poster. Actually, it should be like that. There, that looks a lot better. And these will go up on my studio wall once I have a frame for them. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of running into a bunch of stuff that I need to put up on my walls that I just haven't yet, as I'm too lazy to go drive over to the nearest arts and crafts store to buy more frames. But I also picked up Aviators vinyl, which they were kind enough to all sign for me. As a matter of fact, their guitar player after their set was nice enough to go chase down 2 of the members of the band to get a signature on there, which he didn't have to do, and but was still very, very kind of him. They were also a very, very great group of guys to talk to, and they put on a hell of a set. As a matter of fact, I took a pretty good elbow right here while I was in the middle of the filming the set. It was a complete accident, of course, but still, when you're filming mosh pits, you're bound to get hurt. But some of the cool stuff that I picked up this evening, and I'm going to set that wrapper over there. And we're going to pull one of these out. We're going to take a look at it really quick, because I am pretty sure that we have a nice, beautiful, goldish, I don't know what color to call this vinyl, and it is semi-transparent, which is really awesome. It is a double disc, and the other disc is the same color, so I'm not going to pull that out. However, I did have a lot of fun meeting those guys, and I had really fun getting a lot of fun getting beat up at in their set. Of course, I missed the first couple of songs because I decided to make the monumental mistake of going next door to the pizza joint there and ordering 2 jumbo slices of pizza, which nobody told me at the time is 2 12-inch pizzas. And if you're planning on being active at a concert, eating pizza right before you get on the floor, not a solid idea. Me and the Rambo ended up being super sleepy by wheel set. And we were fading pretty fast. And we're blaming it on the pizza. We're blaming it on the pizza. It had nothing to do with the 3 shots of whiskey on top of that. It was just the pizza. However, it was really good pizza. So there's that, I suppose. But then the legendary Wheel steps up and got a couple of their records and this is their brand new one that just came out, I think, last month, and the one that they're touring in support of, obviously. So I am adding all kinds of stuff to my collection, and I got to meet those guys as well and take pictures with them and Traverser because they were both kind enough to do so. I'm pretty sure I could have gotten Aviators, but I was kind of doing my social butterfly heavy metal thing, so I just kind of forgot. Oops, sorry. That being said, if you want to see those pictures or any footage from last night's show, I've got stuff from all 3 bands live on my Instagram and on my Facebook as well. So whichever platform you choose, it's both right there for you to look at. But the cool part was towards the end of the evening, while I was sitting down fighting the drowsiness from being dumb enough to eat pizza in the middle of a metal show, the singer from Traverser comes out, and we were discussing my more than passing resemblance to him, and because I have a passing resemblance to him, he also has a passing resemblance to, you guessed it, Dave Grohl. And I started joking about my YouTube channel, the Not Dave Grohl Show. Go figure, right? And he asked me to pull it up, and he subscribed to my YouTube channel. So maybe he ends up watching this episode, in which case, very, very, very awesome of him. It is really cool when a band you admire actually wants to check out your content, or at the very least subscribes to you to help boost your subscriber count. Which brings me to my next part. Before we get into this evening's, they're not festivities. This isn't a party. Ignore the lights. It's not a party. All right, it's kind of a party. But I have been seeing a very, very sizable boost in follower counts on Facebook, and not quite as sizable, but still fairly sizable boost in my YouTube subscriptions. So thank you to whomever you are for subscribing to the channel and helping me move closer and closer to getting out to wider audiences. You have no idea what that means to me, because I really enjoy doing this. And while it does not necessarily require me having a large audience, getting it out to a bigger audience is always a good thing, because I am first and foremost very excited to share my misadventures with all of you. And also to work on music live on this channel, which, you know, is something that a lot of people do, but some of you guys tune in to watch me do it. And that is a really, really cool thing. So, once again, thank you to all the people who have been boosting my numbers. I do greatly appreciate it. And let's keep it going. Let's keep it growing. Did I really just say that? Oof, that was cringe. My bad. Which was just as cringe. I probably need to delete my bad from my vocabulary. That's kind of late 90s, early 2000s at this point. I don't know. Do people still say that anymore? Somebody let me know in the comments. But that being said, I am going to go ahead and update you, because next week's schedule is going to be a little bit different. I thought tonight, or well, today rather, I would be jumping in a car and driving to Atlanta, which I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I would have shown up at the place that is kind enough to house me, and they would have been like, dude, what the hell are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here until next week. I don't even know what to say to that, but I'm kind of glad it got caught, because not only would I have showed up really, really early for the show I'm going up there to see, I am also don't like showing up on people early, especially when they're kind enough to let me crash their place for several days. That being said, obviously I'm doing an episode tonight. I am going to continue working on vocal production for Leo Bear. It wouldn't be an episode of this show if I did not completely trip over my words at least once. But I will continue working on the vocal arrangements for Leah Barrientos' new track, which she has been kind enough to allow me to continue to produce on channel. I might sign back on tomorrow morning to do a little bit more work, because I have somewhat of a busy afternoon. But also, I will be streaming on Monday and Tuesday only next week, because I have to be driving up Interstate 75 all day Wednesday. And then Thursday through Sunday, I will be hanging out in Atlanta, Georgia. And I will be going to see Stellar Circuits live, which is another band that's kind of hard to categorize, because they've got a lot of different influences in their sound, but they are a group that I have wanted to see for quite a while. And they will be playing at a venue just up the street from the Eastern, whose name escapes me. I suppose I could pull up the ticket really quick. Why don't I do that? Why not? Let's see here. It is, what is it called? I guess it is called the Masquerade, which is right around the corner from the Eastern. So I'm going to get to check out another new venue next week, which I'm pretty excited about. More than anything, I'm pretty excited to be back in Atlanta again. Hopefully it is a couple of degrees cooler, because it has been quickly approaching Satan's ass crack here in the Central Florida. But what are you going to do, right? So, road trip number 2 this year, which I'm pretty excited about. And I am working on a road trip number 3, but I'm not quite ready to announce that yet. However, if you like really cool semi-experimental prog bands, buy a ticket. If you're up in the Atlanta area, come hang out. Come meet me. I'll be there. And, well, I would be lying if I said that my favorite part of this is that I'm not going to... let me try that again. I would be lying if I said that my favorite part of this whole thing is that I'm going to get to spend 4 days hanging out with a giant black lab, Kino, who was in my profile picture for a couple of weeks. I get to hang out with him again, and I'm really excited about that, because he's a really cool dog. But my love of animals aside, I think it is time that we get into this and get some work done. Besides, I am losing my voice, and I am struggling to speak at even this level this evening. It has been cracking all day long, and it is terrible. So the less I speak, the better. Anyways, let's do this. All right. So I think really quickly, I want to review everything that I have done to this point, to see how I feel about everything I did in the previous episode. And if you guys need a quick review, basically I got all the vocals in, I got them edited, I got them rendered out into new stems after I cleaned everything up. And you are looking at the clean stems, and we are in the middle of getting some processing on them to get them where they need to be. And we are going to continue down that road this evening because, well, we still have a lot of work to do on this track. Because once I've got the vocals done, then I've got overdubbing with the guitars. And then we get to begin the mixing phase. So let's go ahead and get this started really quick. And we're going to go back and review everything we've done to this point.
Deceiving. sometimes having a parent which is present but absent is more damaging than having a parent that's just absent. Because when a parent's just absent, there's a void, but then something can happen in that. When a parent is there, but not really there, they're filling the space that doesn't allow something else to come in.
But I don't know you, and you don't know me at all. Like a star next to you, I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guiding me through, I grew up on my own, no thanks to you. Can't turn back the time, I can't rewind for what you've done to me. I wish it was a lie I see right through disguise. I can't say you're not worth the time. Torment and tears inside the same brown eyes.
All right, so that's pretty much where we are right now, and they're still a little rough. I'm particularly concerned with the chorus because I don't feel like they are.
Like a star next to you, 'cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guiding me through, I grew up on my own, no thanks to you. Can't turn back the time, I can't rewind what you've done to me. I wish it was a lie.
Sometimes having a parent which is
Yeah. That's a little bit better. Just giving it a full shelf boost right around here seems to brighten her vocals up a little bit. But I've also got to remember we don't have any slapback or anything on there to really give it any guts yet. So, oh man, that is some serious delay. So let's do this really quick. I kind of want to solo these out and just listen to them for just a second.
Feel like a stranger next to you, 'cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guiding me through, I grew up on my own, no thanks to you. Can't turn back the time, I can't rewind what you've done to me. I wish it was a lie.
sometimes having
Like a stranger next to you. Never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guiding me through, I grew up on my own, no thanks to you. Can't turn back the time, I can't rewind. What you done to me, I wish it was
having a parent which is present.
How did that fade end up in there? That bothers me. Is that okay? I think I know what's going on there.
Which is present but absent. Sometimes having a parent which is
All right.
Like a stranger next to you.
I almost wonder here. Would it be wiser? Let's try this really quick.
Like a stranger next to you. 'Cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guiding me through, I grew up on my own, no thanks to you. Can't turn back the time.
Let's see. Later in the song here.
'Cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guiding me through, I grew
Ooh, I gotta fix
up on
something
my own and thanks to you. Can't turn back the time. I can't rewind. I can't rewind. Can't turn back the time. I can't rewind. I can't rewind. I can't rewind.
So we're basically borrowing some lines here.
Can't turn back the time. I can't rewind. But what you
And likewise, we are also going to borrow this line. Where is it at?
'Cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guiding me through, I grew up on my own and thanks to you. Can't turn back the time.
For some reason, all this is cut up.
Can't turn back the time. Can't turn back the time. Can't turn back the time. Can't turn. Can't turn back the time. Can't turn back the time. And you don't know me at all. And you like a stranger next to you. 'Cause I never had time. I can't rewind. But what you can't turn back the time. I can't rewind. But what you done to me, I wish I was alive.
Sometimes having
Okay. And the reason I did that is because that first version of that chorus had a slight drag on the word back that I was not going to be able to fix without doing a crossfade, which would cause kind of a robotic effect on the vocal, which I didn't want. So I just stole the line from the second chorus and replaced it in the first, and it sounds a lot more in. So I'm going to go with that. Leah, if you're watching, I hope you don't mind me moving your vocals around like that.
Like a stranger next to you, 'cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guided me through, I grew up on my own, no thanks to you. Can't turn back the time. I can't rewind. But what you done to me, I wish it was alive.
Yeah, and that sounds a lot better. And additionally, I stole the harmony that she uses in the second chorus only, just to add a little bit more in here than what was there. It was a mistake when I basically doubled your vocals here because I was using a vocal doubler, but I was not happy with the separation it caused, or that it was giving. It just didn't make your vocals feel thick enough. And when I duplicated the track, it doubled the plugins that were in there, and that's what was causing that weird that weird fuzz box sound. So when I removed those, you can hear it sounds a lot cleaner.
Feel like a stranger next to you, 'cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guided me through, I grew up on my own, no thanks to you. Can't turn back the time. I can't rewind. But what you done to me, I wish it was alive.
Let's turn the mic back on too, so everybody can actually hear what I'm saying. We're going to go through that one more time.
Feel like a stranger next to you, 'cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guided me through, I grew up on my own, no thanks to you. Can't turn back the time. I can't
basically, I ended up, when I was processing your vocals in the last session, I ended up having to put a fade on this so that these actually matched up, because these vocals were like actually all the way out here. So they drug for just a bit too long. So I cleaned them up. But the harmony in once I have the delay and reverb in there, it's going to not fade out quite as fast, and it should sound a lot more full. But if I have to, I can always just go back in there and readjust this from the original takes. It's really not a big deal. The other thing that I'm going to do, because I don't think the other thing that I'm going to do here that I heard, I'm going to take this little bit of sputter out because it's not necessary. And really, I don't need anything before this either. So yeah, we're basically doing second pass and effects at this point. And then we're going to do a third pass, and that's when I'm going to add in all the reverb sends and stuff, because I want to do those on a second track so that I can blend those with a fine-tooth comb, because I don't want there to be too much for obvious reasons.
Feel like a stranger next to you, 'cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guiding me through, I grew up on my own, no thanks to you. Can't turn back the time, I can't rewind for what you done to me. I wish it was alive.
Yeah, I think that sounds I think that sounds really tight at this point. I don't really hear anything inherently wrong. I'm ready to send those over for a third pass. However, the one thing I am going to do here, I am going to move the silk down to here, and then I'm going to move it also on these lines too, so that they've got generally the same kind of...
Can't turn back the time, I can't rewind.
That's an interesting thing, though, because, like, I don't think I've ever tried that before, because I've got these double tracks right here, which are the primary vocals. I've got those panned hard left and right, like at 80%, and I've got the harmonies going straight down the middle. And I've never tried that before, and I actually think it sounds really good. I mean, that's not the way you would normally do it, but I kind of like it. But, you know, give me your thoughts. If not, we'll try something a little bit different.
Can't turn back the time, I can't rewind for what you done to me. I wish it was alive.
And I will end up centering all these back to zero, because of course, for those of you watching, I am going to use a trick with a thing called a vocal rider, which is going to write the volumes and the compression all onto a single line. So when it reads back, it is going to read that line, and it's going to adjust the volume on the fly, which is why we're not going to mix the vocals from here. We're actually going to do it from the automation itself, which is going to give us much more consistent vocals. I want to kind of go back and listen to this section again.
Staring at you, nothing to say. Wandering eyes, so astray. The words I love you, so deceiving. You say you're not. But I don't know you. Staring at you, nothing to say. Wandering eyes, so astray. The words I love you, so deceiving. You say you're not guilty for leaving, but I don't know you, and you don't know me at all. You're like a stranger next to you, 'cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guided me through, I grew up on my own, thanks to you. Can't turn back the time, I can't rewind. But what you done to me, I wish it was alive.
Sometimes having a parent which is present but absent is more damaging than having a parent that's just absent. Because when a parent's just absent, there's a void, but then something can happen in that. When a parent is there, but not really there, they're filling the space that doesn't allow something else to come in.
But I don't know you.
Now, here's my question here.
Is more damaging than having a parent that's just absent. Because when a parent's just absent, there's a void, but then something can happen in that. When a parent is there, but not really there, they're filling the space that doesn't allow something else to come in.
But I don't know you, and you don't know me at all. Feel like a stranger next to you, 'cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of holding my hand and guiding me through, I grew up.
All right, there's something not quite right there.
Feel like a stranger next to you, 'cause I never had someone to look up to. Instead of
Like, these are not quite lining up.
Instead of holding my hand time. Get back the 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 time. I carry on for what you done to me. I wish it was. Get back the time. Get back the time.
There's some cut up in the drum. Why?
Get back the time. The time I can't read the time I can't rewind for what you done to me. I wish it was a lie I see right through the skies. You can't say you're not worth the time. Torment and tears inside the same brown eyes. A lie I see right through the skies. You can't say you're not worth the time. Torment and tears inside the same brown Can't turn back the time. I can't rewind for what you done to me. I wish it was a lie I see right through the skies. You can't say you're not worth the time. Torment and tears inside the same brown eyes.
All right. And I think the vocals are more or less done, but I do have one thing that I would like to change. And I don't have a vocal set to work with. Leah, are you still floating around in the either the YouTube or the Facebook chat? Okay, so here is the one thing, and you can probably just take this from your home studio. This section right here, kind of here, like you have the start of a harmony right here that cuts out. And I think it would actually sound better if we had a full harmony going to this. So do you think you could track something in your home studio like that and send it to me? Because it kind of cuts out and it gets a little too thin too fast. So yeah, like kind of do the lower harmony that starts right here and like just like keep that lower harmony there. That's fine. I won't really be around this weekend, but maybe if you could get it to me by Monday, I could get that laid in there on Monday night stream, and we could do a final render of all the vocals, and we will have all of that done, and then I will be down to guitar overdubs and Juan synthesizer lines and figuring out where to layer those in. I think that at that point in time, when I come back from Atlanta, I can start doing a full mix on this song and maybe a master as early as the following weekend, and then you have your next single. And I'm gonna have to like layer in these stems again too, but that's okay. I can clone this project, but like I accidentally like mass cut a bunch of stuff and it added a bunch of chops in there that I don't need, but I have all the original stems, so I can reblend all that stuff. That's not a big deal. But we're getting really, really close at this point. Don't worry about the volume right now. The volume when I do the vocal writing on all these stems, it's going to end up being much lower. But we're not to the point where I'm worried about the volumes all being tucked away and perfect at this point. That's going to come when I start mixing. But yes, I will make sure that the belting is going to be under the main vocals so that it's not pushing as hard as it is. Yep, trust me, I'm already ahead of you on that one. That's a mix phase thing. Right now we're still very much editing, even though we're getting to the point where we're about 100% done with that. And I might play around with these a little bit more. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer the original vocals over top of these, so that there's still a little bit of presence in them. But I've got a plan for that. I think I'm going to end up adding some kind of like scratch or noise underneath that so that it doesn't cut off so hard and there's something underneath it to carry it. But I can do that when I do all the guitar overdubs, because I've got a lot of guitar overdubs that I need to add to this. I don't think it's going to take me terribly long once I get started, but strangely enough, my equipment that I normally use for tracking is all still packed up in the living room from last weekend. So let's see, where are we at stream wise? Okay, we are about an hour and 7 minutes in, and I don't think I want to push it too much further tonight. Because I think we're more or less done, and I kind of want to do the guitar overdubs on a different day where I can sit down and actually focus on doing just that. And that's probably going to be Monday night, I think, because that's when it makes the most sense to me. And I can kind of dedicate 1 or 2 hours to that, because it's not a ton of work, but still I want to focus solely on that while I'm doing it. So I think that is going to be the wisest idea. And we can do all the synthesizer-y stuff on Tuesday, and more or less we'll have a rough demo of the track, and then when I get back from Atlanta, I will start the mix phase on it. And once we've got a mix that we're happy with, it will be mastering time, and things will sound very complete and very whole, and they will be ready for streaming services, in which case I hope everybody that watches these goes and gives that song a lot of love. Maybe you dropped out of the chat, but here's a rumor that this is something I meant to pick up earlier. Rumor has it, don't take this as confirmed, that we will be playing this song live somewhere on the East Coast during a little Battle of the Bands like competition. And to those of you that can make it out, you should come hear us perform this live, along with her previous single. And actually, we'll probably end up performing all 4 of your songs, I would think. And rumor has it, we're going to be opening that set maybe with a really popular Evanescence song, which I would personally have a lot of fun playing on stage. So that's still just a rumor at this point. Don't take it too seriously. But as soon as it is not a rumor, go buy tickets, come see it. It'll be a fun show. And who knows, we might win. You never know. But anyways, I am going to go ahead and call stream for this evening, and I'm going to go suit up and take a run, and then I'm going to do something fun, like play some video games for a little bit, because I don't do that a lot these days. Or maybe I'll read. I don't know. I'm going to end up doing one of those 2 things. But if I end up streaming games, maybe I will put it live up on the Twitch channel and the Facebook, and you can come join for a little bit. Though I probably will not have my voice on it, because the only option I have for out in my living room is a Bluetooth headset, which doesn't sound very good. When I tested that with FF7 Rebirth, I just sounded terrible. And I don't want to drag all this stuff out there. I need to get a proper headset for my PS5. Maybe I'll do that at some point this weekend. But okay. I will be back maybe tomorrow morning for an hour or so. I don't know. maybe I won't be back tomorrow morning. Maybe the next stream is going to be Monday. Either way, look for the live button if you're on Facebook. Look for, I don't know how Facebook tells you a channel's live. I think it just pops up in your player. But you can't see any of that if you are not followed or subscribed, depending on your platform. One of these days, I'm going to have to go in and look at my Twitch and see if anybody actually follows me there. Because all I use that for is restreaming back to Facebook and YouTube. I'd be curious to see if I've got like a whole audience over there that doesn't, that's watching, and I just never interact with them because I don't even know what's going on there. But it might be like I could have a ton of followers over there and just never know it because I don't log into my Twitch account. But anyways, until next time, let's back up. Let's back up just a second. If you liked what you saw, click the likes, the follows, the subscribes. If you didn't like what you saw, click the likes, the follows, and the subscribes anyways, and come back next time. Maybe I will be doing something more to your liking. Twist the knobs, pull the levers. I almost forgot the Invader Zim line. How could I? It's not a proper stream if I don't quote Invader Zim at least once. But thanks for tuning in, even if for a couple of seconds. I definitely appreciate it. I will see you all back here on Monday.